welcome to our enclosure here at Colchester Zoo. It is home to 13 of our Humboldt penguins. Now you're looking at the penguins coming out here today, probably thinking there isn't 13 penguins coming out. And the reason for this is actually breeding season for our penguins at the moment. So some of them are actually still in the enclosure and are actually sitting on eggs at the moment. So a lot of the ones that are sitting on eggs, they won't come out to feed, but they will swap with their partners later on. So later on you'll get the ones sitting on eggs now coming out to have a nice feed, while the ones that are out now going in to sit on the eggs. All of our penguins have got names as well, so you may be wondering how we can identify each and every one of them. If you have a look at their tummies, you will see they're all covered in spots. And like our fingerprints are always completely different, our penguin spots are always completely different as well. So what we do is look for different patterns of spots on each one, and this is how we can identify them. So this one down here is Big Baby. Big Baby, I look at him, I look at his spots as he has a sort of a semicircle going around one way and a little bit of a semicircle going around the other way, and then he's got a bit of a gap in the middle. He's quite a big penguin. The reason he's out here today is his girlfriend Little Baby is actually sitting on an egg at the moment. So Little Baby and Big Baby, they were both brought up together. They were both hatched out. Unfortunately, had to be hand-reared, but they all done really well hand-reared, and they've actually paired up together, which is quite nice. We've also got a penguin out here that might look a little bit different to all the others. Standing right at the front there, you might notice that Loki hasn't quite got her adult feathers. She is only a baby. She was actually hatched out last year, so she's about 10 months old now. And the reason she hasn't got her adult feathers is because every year all the penguins will go through a molt. Loki hasn't yet been through this molt, but it's normally around July, August time they go through their molt. So around July, August time this year, all of these penguins will go through that molt, and the lovely Loki here will get her nice new adult feathers. Now the penguin just joining us out here now is the lovely Soda. She is one of my personal favourites. She did have a bit of a liking to me last year. I don't know whether it was my hair or what, but she seemed to love my wellies and she'll sit on my wellies the whole time I was out here. But if you look at Soda's chest, she's actually got a Z shape on her chest. So when she turns around, then you might be able to notice that. And you can see the point. We look for different patterns of spots on each penguin, and this is how we can identify them. Now the natural predator for the Humboldt penguin is seals or sea lions on the land, seals or sea lions in the water, or wild dogs or foxes on the land. But unfortunately, they aren't their only threat, and another threat for these guys is something known as guano mining. Now, if any of you aren't quite sure what guano is, it is a polite word for penguin poo. And what the Humboldt penguin does over in Chile and Peru when they build their nests is they let their droppings build up to around a foot deep, which then dries up in the sun and turns into a chalky substance, which is the guano. The penguins, they then burrow into this guano, build their nests and lay their eggs. Unfortunately though, the farmers over in both Chile and Peru have realised it's a very good fertiliser for their crops. So what they've been doing is bulldozing through all of the nesting sites, which can obviously wipe out all the penguins' chicks and their eggs. Now they have been building some protective walls around some of these nesting sites, but unfortunately due to lack of maintenance and funding, some of these walls are starting to break down and erode. So here at Colchester Zoo we have got a charity called Action for the Wild, and we're trying to raise as much money as possible that we can send over to both Chile and Peru to try and help maintain and rebuild some of these walls. Now I've got a collection box just down next to my foot here. I will be placing it at the front after the feed. And if anyone would like to make a contribution after the feed, it would be very much appreciated. And in return for that donation, we will receive a sticker of another one of my favourite penguins. His name is Nautilus. He's our poser penguin, loves posing for the photos, but he actually lives in our Penguin Shores enclosure at the moment. Now I mentioned earlier that penguins are a flightless bird, and they have been adapted in lots of different ways. So while these guys are out here at the moment, I will just describe a few of those ways. So the most obvious way is their wings. Now the wings have been adapted into flippers, so what's happened there is their elbow joint has fused together, which means they can't tuck them nice and neatly behind themselves like birds that can fly, but this does make them excellent swimmers. The Humboldt penguin can swim up to 25 kilometres an hour through the water, which is quite fast, perfect for when they want to evade their predators, but also perfect for when they want to catch their fish. They've also got a very heavy bone structure. Our oldest penguin here at Colchester Zoo is Baldyman. He's currently sitting on 2 eggs at the moment. But he is 25 years old and he weighs 5 kilos. So that is quite heavy for a bird. One of the reasons they can't fly, obviously, but also makes them excellent divers. The Humboldt penguin can dive up to 53 metres to catch their fish or evade their predators. If anyone's not quite sure how deep 53 metres is, if you have a look at our sea lion pool, that is only 4 metres deep, so it is very, very deep indeed. Now it looks like our penguins are coming to the end of their fish now. We have got, I think that's, well, big baby, who are we having here? No, that's Regina. Regina is finishing off the fish with the lovely Malibu there. So I will be leaving them out for a few minutes, so if you want to come down at the back then feel free. I would just like to ask you all to move nice and slowly so the penguins don't run back into the enclosure. They are all available for adoption as well, so if you would like to adopt one, just head up to guest services and they can give you all the information you need to know. But for now, I would like to thank you all very much for coming. I do hope you've enjoyed watching the penguins, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day here with us at Colchester Zoo.
Thank you.